Marilyn Devonish here from transformationstm.com. I think this one's going to be third time lucky because it's been messing about with my microphone, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we're all live now and you can hear, and I've reset the settings as it goes. So it's been a pretty full-on couple of months. The last 6 weeks particularly, we've been in the run-up to election season. So polling day was yesterday. The count was today, as in verifying the votes, doing all the counting. So I was out canvassing and telling yesterday for about 11 hours, was at the count all day today. And the results are now live. So congratulations to all of my Liberal Democrat colleagues who, we've got some new councillors. We've got some councillors who were restanding for election. The mayor was also up for election. So that was all absolutely fabulous, as Craig Revel Horwood would say. And I'm just going to make sure and check that so my sound is working. Good stuff, because we had a bit of problem with the sound. And I'm just going to make sure. Right. So that's a-okay. That's working. So the title of this video is Mind Blown. Let me tell you why I've said that. Actually, let me grab my notebook. And I will go in her words rather than mine. So I had a call with the founder of this process, and I'm running a couple of free webinars this month. The reason I'm saying mind blown, there is a process that you can initiate and do while you're lying in bed, and these are some of the things that you can achieve. So they talked about you can rejuvenate the cells, you can oxygenate the body, getting up to 84% more oxygen moving around the body. That's going to aid weight loss. They talked about releasing adhesions from the muscles, etc. They talked about chronic pain management, managing your size and your shape, anti-aging, getting rid of things like cellulite, trauma release. Seriously, absolutely incredible. So what we're doing on the 11th of this month, so if you're watching this in real time, that's this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. UK time, which will be, what will that be? That will be midday Central Time if you're in the United States, but 6 p.m. UK time BST. We're going to be running the first of 2 webinars this month. So on Wednesday, it's an intro session, going to run for about 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to introduce you to the founder of this amazing process. They're going to tell you a bit about what it is, how it works, some of the backstory to it, what they've discovered over the last 20 or so years that they've been looking at it. And there's going to be a little mini challenge for people who want to take part. And the idea of that is take part and then join us for the longer webinar on the 30th of this month, 30th of May, again 6 p.m. UK BST, British Summer Time, midday CST, and you can come back and share with us your results. And we're also going to do a Q&A. Absolutely amazing. Seriously, a friend of mine who has a PhD, is an immunologist, is a nurse practitioner, all of those sorts of things. She contacted me very excited saying, you've got to look at this particular therapy. I was like, okay. Insisted I do a webinar with the founder this week, and it was amazing. It was mind-blowing. So that's on the free of charge. Just make sure you register. So I'm probably not going to do it today because, as I said, it's been a full-on 6 weeks. And the last 2 weeks have been just frenetic, and the last 48 hours have been completely mad. So I'm not sure I'm going to set up the booking page today, but over the weekend, or I'll do it on Monday. But I'll set up the booking page, register. It will then automatically send you the details. It's going to be taking place on Zoom. And I definitely, if anything on that list, they were also talking about, creating more definition, adjusting the shape of the body, even healing some of those things that might have crept into the genetics. And it sounds so very simple to do. So I'm going to be doing the challenge with you starting on the 9th, and I'm going to be reporting back on the 30th of May as well in terms of the results that I've noticed and experienced. So if you can't join us on the 11th, if that's too short notice, get the 30th of May in the diary. We would absolutely love to have you join us. So, and once the link is ready, I'll put it into the comments here. I'll put it into the description if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, but join us for that. It's going to be amazing. Next month, I am running a hybrid photo reading workshop. What that means is, because I've never run a hybrid version before, many years ago, I ran a live video webinar. I did say at the time, I'm probably not going to be running this again anytime soon. And I ran that webinar, I think it was around 2017, maybe 2018, but I have not run it. No, that's not true. I have run it once since then. And that was for a family out in Australia who had booked to attend my in-person photo reading workshop. So the whole family was going to fly over in March 2020. We all know what happened in March 2020. So they couldn't make it. So what I did is I ran an Australian version for them, which meant I was starting at 11 o'clock at night, UK time. I was teaching the photo reading class throughout the night, right through till 7 or 8 o'clock the next morning. But I did that as a special for them. But I don't run the webinar because it's now available on demand. But what I'm going to be doing this time round, you can either, let me bring that up, so you can either join us in person in the physical training room. So we'll be back in the room for the first time since lockdown, or you can join us live online via video webinar. So it means that you're in the dynamic and in the energy of the room. And I know that is true because when I first, and this probably would have been, when would that have been? I think it was probably 2015, something like that, maybe a little bit earlier. I created a one-day photo reading DVD, just an intro. Everyone who purchased that DVD, the very first person, a lawyer called Susan Fritsch, some of you might know her, she was the very first person to watch it and give me feedback. And she said, Marilyn, I felt like I was a fly on the wall in the room. She said, some of the things that had happened, she said she shed a tear of joy, but she said she felt like she was there with us. And people have consistently said that over the years. This time round, you actually will be there with us in the room, albeit virtually. So that is happening next month, the 10th to the 12th of June. And so join us in person, join us online. Again, no idea if I'm going to do this version in this format again, because there's quite a lot to juggle. The photo reading workshop is 21 hours. It's fairly intense, pretty full on. And so my focus is always just on the people in the room. So it's going to be interesting to see that dual focus. But what I will do, most likely, just thinking about the way that I run the workshop when it's live, we'll be talking to those of you in the room. When everyone in the room is doing the exercises, that's when I'll come back to the webinar. I'll see what you've been saying in the chat. I'll answer your questions there. So it's going to be interesting. And one of the things that I think we're really focusing on this time is that whole thing about boosting your brain literally within minutes, because all of those steps actually just take a couple of minutes. Some of them actually take a few seconds. For example, that's step one, where you're getting yourself physically and mentally prepared, getting yourself into the flow state. You can do that in 30 to 60 seconds, minute and a half. Less than that once you get anchored into that state, which you will be by the Friday night. Step two, where you're doing that preview, setting up what's coming up, 60 to 90 seconds for a typical book, less if it's just a PDF or a report. The actual data download step three, I give you 5 minutes to complete that. With step four, that post view, where you're starting to gear up your brain and your mind, I give you 2-3 minutes for that one, sometimes a bit less, because any more than that, people get too consciously engaged. And with that activation step, you can start pulling information out of that immediately. There are times where we do the activation where someone picks up their book, they open it seemingly at random, and right there is exactly what they were looking for. Less than 10 seconds. So it really is a brain booster. So if you've had that, I've heard people talk, people talked about baby brain. I've heard people talking about COVID brain, about how challenging it's been to get themselves back in gear post lockdown. So this will be absolutely amazing for that. And so join us in the room live, join us live via a video webinar. The choice is yours, but you've got an opportunity to do that next month. So I'll put the details of that into the chat as well, or into the description on YouTube. And the final thing that's been cooking in the background whilst I've been away doing all of the canvassing stuff is a new mini course on intuition. So I've had one person, so the first person who purchased, I did an offer last week on the Intuition Supercharger workshop. It's a one-day on-demand video webinar course. The first person who purchased that, I said what I would do is send them the Intuition Supercharger, get their feedback on it, and the feedback was absolutely amazing. I've got it written down somewhere. Actually, have I got it? Don't know if that document is open. No, it's not open. I won't bother with it now. But she sent me some really fantastic feedback. And so that course, for those of you on my e-newsletter list, when I send you the details for the webinar that I'm running on Wednesday, I'm also going to include a link to the Intuition Supercharger. Let me know how you get on. Tell me what you like about the format, but it's done in bite-sized chunks. So you can take this mini course. I haven't timed it actually, but my guesstimate is it will take you about 5 minutes. But the person, actually, let me just see what, because I've just told you she's given me some fabulous feedback, but rather than me paraphrasing, if I can pull that up nice and quick, let me have a sip of water while let me just tell you, so I think I put it all on here. Alrighty, let me just tell you what her first, so, okay, here comes my response to your mail. Okay, firstly, after watching, she's talking about she was doing the photo reading workshop as well. Well, what a brilliant idea to use the first steps of photo reading process for entering the state of intuition. I'd never thought about it if you weren't sharing this. So this is from the mini course. She says, secondly, really happy to hear that you've reminded me of the existence of, I won't go into that, it's a bit personal. Great benefit for people. Intuition is invaluable. And so she absolutely loved that. Then I was asking her about the mini course, and she was talking about the whole process of learning more about intuition, getting into that flow state. She actually came back to me with some really good feedback and comments about the intuition course as well. And she was saying it's triggered thoughts, it's triggered feelings, it's really kind of bringing to the top of her mind about the phenomena of intuition in relation to herself. And then she was asking some really good questions about some of the things I'd put in, and could I be clearer about the link and connection to those. So it was really quite interesting what people have got from just a little mini version and taster. So if you want to try that one out, I'd love to hear your feedback. I'll send you the link in the latest e-newsletter, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. What I've also done is included some small segments from the Intuition Supercharger one-day video webinar workshop. So a couple of the exercises are in there. I've included some coaching questions as well, which I can take you through. I've included some examples of how you can tap into your intuition. There's a little segment with Richard Branson, some of the things that he shared about intuition. And there's a little quiz, a couple of quiz questions in there as well, just to cement what you've been learning. So really excited for you to all to have a look through that one. Let me know what you think. That would be amazing. And yeah, so that's what's coming up. So we got the webinar on the 11th or the 30th of May. Please register. It's amazing. Got the photo reading hybrid workshop, the 10th to the 12th of June. The Intuition mini course, free of charge to all of you on my e-newsletter. So that's going to be winging its way out to you in the next couple of days. And also for those of you who haven't already done so, please do remember to sign up for the digital loyalty card. It means every single time you purchase a session, be that a on-demand video webinar workshop, coaching session, therapy session, attending the photo reading workshop, you get 2 bonus points for that one. So if you're coming to a physical workshop, I'll scan your digital card. It will be in your digital wallet on your phone. If you're doing something via online, what I'll do is I manually add the points to your card. But every time you purchase something, I will add a point to your card. When your dance card is full, so that's 12 points, you'll get a free online coaching session with me. And if you're not needing a coaching session, you can actually gift it, GIFT, not GIF, you can actually gift it to someone else. So do make sure you sign up for that. The website is on the screen. I can actually put that into the comments as well, or just point your phone at the QR code and it will take you to the page where you can, it's free to sign up. And I'll add the points. And for those of you I know, let's say, for example, I've got people who have attended the Mind, Body, Spirit, Energy Fest workshop over the years. There's a bonus point immediately when you sign up to get the ball rolling. But what I will also do is I'll add some backdated points to your card as well. I'll do that next week. So that's it. That is what's coming up. Really excited about that. If you've got any questions, you've got any queries, drop me an email. It's marilyn@transformationstm.com. Marilyn, for those of you who are listening rather than watching, it's MARILYN for November at trance, TRANCE, F for Freddie, so FORMATIONSTM.com. So Marilyn at transformationstm.com. If you want information about any of these things over the next couple of days, what I'll do is I'll add them to my main website, which is transformationstm.com. What you need to do is press the red Watch New button, top right, and a panel will open out and it will have details of all of the upcoming things. I haven't added them all as yet, but I'll do that in the next couple of days. So when I've set up the booking page for the free webinar on the 11th and the 30th, I'll add that. I'm pretty sure if you scroll down a bit, because I've added a few things since then, you'll find the link for the digital loyalty card. I'm going to update the piece about the hybrid workshop, because when I first launched a photo reading workshop, it was just for the in-person course. But then I thought, well, hey, why don't I give people the opportunity to join from around the world? But give me a couple of days, go to the main website, click the red What's New button. All of the information will be there. And with regards to the workshop happening on the 11th of May and the 30th of May, it'd be lovely if you can attend both of them. As I said, for those of you who are coming into this recording later, the one on the 11th is a shorter version to introduce you to the process, give you the information if you want to do the challenge. And then the one that we run on the 30th will be longer. There'll be the Q&A, and we'd love to get some feedback from you about what you've noticed in terms of changes in the body, changes in your energy, in doing the simple exercises that you can do lying down from bed. So that is what is coming up. Would love to have you join me for the mind-blowing free webinar. Be amazing to have you join me both live or online for the photo reading workshop. And for those of you who are have the digital loyalty card, every once in a while, if you switch your notifications on, you'll get some special offers and bonuses as push notifications. So do look out for those. That's it. Email me questions, email me queries. If you know anyone who might benefit from this, particularly the webinar that we're doing on the 11th and the 30th, or indeed the photo reading, please feel free to share my details. Please feel free to send them this video. That'll be really very, very much appreciated. So hope that you're all fit and healthy and well. I'm off to have a couple of days of rest and relaxation. So I will catch you all later. Thank you so much for watching.